fires here in the Spokane area. You can see how we had these big spikes when the fires really began to blaze here, and then it stayed elevated ever since. So for the last 2 days, the numbers have been really elevated. It's been very unhealthy to be outside for any length of time, honestly. And there's still air quality alerts for us. Almost the entire states of Washington and Oregon, very large states, large section here of Idaho, then around the Missoula area, extending down into Wyoming and a good chunk of Colorado as well. So far-reaching effects from the fires across the West. Now, I want you to take a look at something else. A fire whirl over one of the fires that's burning in Spokane. There's a look at it right there. A lot of times when you get this uneven heating because of the fires, they can end up creating their own atmospheres, their own low pressures, and you get these vortices that begin to spin. We see this a lot with smoke nados, fire whirls. Some of these can even, we've seen them in some instances in the West, have winds the equivalent of an EF3 tornado. This one, of course, is a relatively small one, but it's just always interesting to see how wildfires can create different atmospheric phenomena. Well, let's bring in meteorologist Jordan Steele. He is live for us right now in Spokane, Washington. Here we are now, Jordan, a couple of days removed from the big event that happened there in Spokane where these homes burned. Where do we stand tonight?
All right, so where we stand? Sorry, I literally just had a tree fell right next to me. The folks are still out and about doing what they can to clear the trees that they think are leaning, that are vulnerable. We're in basically ground zero here, Mike. So when you think of where this fire has gone through, this is Rifle Club Drive. This is where the fire drenched the Spokane River and is still completely shut down, level 3 evacuation. It almost looks like a high-end tornado came through here. I mean, just look how we had absolute devastation as far as the eye can see. No homes left standing. Bricks have come tumbling down. Can't even see any chimneys left at all with the amount of heat that was blaring through here. And in terms of overall numbers, we're over 10,000 acres right now when you look at the Spokane Complex fire. Of the 3 fires, the main focal point is the Autumn fire. That is going to be the one that is still growing in size. And we actually got some video today that we will show you in this show coming up in a little bit of folks on the front lines working that wildfire and trying to get it under control. But this is one of the communities that was hardest hit, and really, talking to some folks that have been walking around, trying to figure out, is my home still standing? Is it not? How about my neighbors? Everybody feels this sense of loss, needing medication. We ran into a lady who was searching for her rings. And actually found them in the rubble. So we'll bring you that story coming up as well. But this gives you some perspective of how long it's really going to take to get some folks back into their community. Now, some of these evacuation orders have begun slowly lifting, level 2, level 1, and then eventually they'll allow everybody back in. But they can't let everyone back in until, A, this is cleaned up, we get power restored, power crews are still erecting lines behind me, and then of course, as I was starting the show telling you, getting those vulnerable trees down, because it would be absolutely devastating if we allowed people back in, and then you had more of these trees coming down because they are weak from the monster blaze that took place here in Spokane, Washington.
There's a lot to think about. Jordan, thank you so much. We're going to check back in with Jordan. Of course, the smoke from these fires affecting a lot more people than the fires themselves. And we do have a whole lot of them over the last 7 days, looking at the locations of our fires across parts of Washington, Oregon, into the state of Idaho, also sections of the West. Montana has also been dealing with fires. And so the plumes of smoke engulfing other communities, many people across the West, at least noting, the hazier sky because of those fires. High pressure is anchored over the southwest, so the overall pattern has been the same. We're not getting any change, and we're keeping those temperatures very warm, and we're keeping the overall wind direction similar because of the flow around that high pressure. As this area of high pressure late week shifts a little bit west and really starts to strengthen, we've got that extreme heat coming back to parts of the Pacific Northwest. So once again, we're looking at temperatures well into the triple digits for sections of the West. We already have, those extreme heat warnings in effect for some, but even parts of the northwestern U.S., those states like Washington and Oregon, will start to see those temperatures bumping back up. Winds also increase, and unfortunately, we know that hot temperatures and gustier winds is a terrible combination when it comes to fire conditions. Makes things very ripe, not just for fires to start, but if they start to spread very quickly, get out of control very quickly. So that's going to be a concern here late week. Obviously, the fires that we've got, they could continue to be problematic with those gustier winds. but any additional fires that were to get started could explode, take off very, very rapidly. Over the next 10 days, no rain expected here across the Northwest. So Idaho, Washington, Oregon, into western sections of Montana, no wet weather expected. So no rain to help us out with these fires. And there's the smoke emission. As we look towards the second half of the week, we're keeping things unhealthy. And this isn't just unhealthy for sensitive groups. It's flat out unhealthy into parts of Washington, Oregon, Idaho, even a little bit of Utah and Nevada. Outside of that, unhealthy for sensitive groups in that navy blue. You can see that extends all the way into portions of Colorado and Wyoming. So that smoke, and significant smoke, extends well away from where the fires are. Well, as much as you can, you want to limit time spent outside, especially if you're vulnerable, even if you're not. You know, we heard from Jordan. He said, you know, you can really smell it. Your throat starts to get dry and irritated. So I'd limit time outside if smoke's a presence in your area. If you're spending time outside, working outside, use a respirator. And while you're driving, have the AC recirculate that air rather than drawing in that smoky outdoor air. And if you want to help support the disaster relief, you can go to redcross.org/the Weather Channel to help those who have lost everything.
All right, Alex, thank you for that. We know that heavy rain has been a major issue for us across the Mid-Atlantic. And how about this here in Norfolk, Virginia, where we had an underpass that was just covered in water, one car that stalled down, and another vehicle here looks like it's either trying to navigate through it or just make a U-turn and get back around. But please be careful in these circumstances, especially at night after the sun sets. It's really hard to really determine how deep some of that water is, or you just don't know until you come upon it. So be extra careful this evening for the opportunity for some storms. Now, we've had this low that's been very pesky. It's basically sat right over North Georgia, basically about right in there, and the flow has been really impressive, you know, circling in with that low. And so we've had a lot of moisture come in off the Atlantic here. You've had a lot of rain today.
Vehicle needs to be serviced.
Around Atlanta really did a number on the airport this afternoon, but you can clearly see where the storms are right now. Feel free here in western North Carolina. You've been hammered of late. There's some spots in western North Carolina picked over a foot of rain in the last couple of weeks here. Really heavy rain coming down for us now in the Hampton Roads area. So numerous flash flood warnings currently, including right in Norfolk and Petersburg and Richmond. These are all spots. We would certainly encourage you not to drive. And if you're in a safe place right now and you're watching us and you're dry, just stay put there, because you wouldn't want to venture out into these conditions, because they could be, you know, quite treacherous for sure. Norfolk and Portsmouth, we're under that flash flood warning until 8 o'clock. The rain is less now. It probably will let up completely here just in the next few minutes as everything pushes north of you. However, look at the rain that we have picked up. So, right around the Norfolk area, if you look at the legend at the top here, 3+ inches of rain. Right there, just on the near north side, more than 5 inches of rain in just the last 6 hours. So more than a month's worth of rain falling in 6 hours' time. Really amazing stuff here. Heavy storms have gone through Richmond for us this afternoon. So right now, Richmond, we're under a flash flood warning, and 295 and 95 affected by this, but heavy rain on the north and west sides of town now, and then scattered storms here across western North Carolina and upstate of South Carolina, even over towards Charlotte and through the Piedmont as well. So a lot of heavy downpours, and none of these storms are moving particularly quickly, so you might end up getting a quick ½ inch to 1 inch of rain, and it just absolutely soaks you tonight. Just be extra careful in low-lying areas that might fill up with water. I know we've got very hilly terrain here, and you can go up and down with the roads, right? So the downs are going to be the problem. The storm should begin to dissipate later on tonight, but could we do it again at least the next couple of days? It's a possibility. Really waiting for this front to come on through, but it may take its sweet old time doing it. In the meantime, a surge of moisture then comes into the Mid-Atlantic and the Southeast once again, eventually spreading into the Northeast as well. So that's going to be all the way through the weekend. We might end up getting some storms there as well. Picking it up in the morning, a few storms out there, but it's really by afternoon and evening where more storms flare up once again. So you'll see a wide area here where there are storms from Atlanta to Pittsburgh and beyond. You can see where that front is cueing some storms there in the Midwest, right? So that's going to be, you know, right back in here, and then eventually that front is going to push its way south and east. That's the one that eventually could clear us out, but it may also bring us some rain in the meantime. So here's the setup. For the next several days, we're likely going to be plagued by storms. Now, I wouldn't say that it's particularly heavy in any one location. You might get some isolated pockets up a few inches, but most of us should be in that kind of 1 to 2 inch range. For Charlotte, again, there could be scattered storms tomorrow. I don't want to say there's not going to be any, but better chances come in for Friday and the weekend. Temperatures mid-80s to right around 90 degrees. Dr. Nav, feels like typical August weather for us here.
And speaking of which, it's been raining in the South Florida area today.
not a big surprise, but not every day is exactly the same. We do have storms that have moved farther inland, so things are improving along the coast, improving along the airport, and I think the storms will preferentially in South Florida be even farther interior and southwest Florida over the next couple of days, but Friday looks to be pretty rainy again. Still have some departure delays at MIA, even though the storms are mostly inland, and they're slow moving, so we do have some pockets of flooding going on, but the lack of very strong flow in the atmosphere has meant the Atlantic sea breeze has taken its time moving the storms inland and colliding with the Gulf Sea breeze. So it's mostly been interior storms, but they've been slow to move. As we go through the rest of the week, this Atlantic high will move farther west and the southeast flow into South Florida will strengthen. So we will get a little bit more of a push. This spin here is an upper level, middle level low. There's a weak surface feature, but this is going to bring some moisture to Florida on about Friday. That will enhance the shower and thunderstorm activity for everybody on Friday. The rest of tonight, storms will take their time to wind down, and then when we get into tomorrow, there's a little more of a southeasterly flow into South Florida. So yes, the storms will start off near the East Coast in the early part of the day, but they will preferentially move farther inland as we go through tomorrow. See the storms along the East Coast sea breeze early in the afternoon, but then they really focus interior and southwest coast until we get to Thursday, and then it's a little bit more of that southeasterly flow, and here comes that disturbance arriving on about Friday. So that will be moving through. Things will dry out by the weekend, Alex.
To Florida, look at some of these city forecasts, starting with what's currently happening. Some big rain in between Fort Myers and the I-95 corridor on the eastern part of the state, and then up in the north and central parts of Florida, at least some scattered downpours just in time for the evening hours. Any after-work activities you were looking forward to? Maybe you have that stack of hamburgers in the fridge you were hoping to go out and grill. Maybe not the night for it, although the 95 corridor is fairly clear. You can see a lot of the activity, the action is focused farther inland, and that's where it stays, continuing to move off towards the north and west. Now, tomorrow morning, waking up to a few showers, that could slow you down for the morning drive, and we'll keep that going around lunchtime and into the afternoon. So West Palm Beach, Fort Lauderdale, Miami, all dodging hit or miss or scattered showers and thunderstorms tomorrow. We'll do it again, honestly, on Thursday, keeping the forecast pretty similar each and every day. Tampa, you've got upper 80s for your high temperatures, afternoon showers and thunderstorms Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and we'll do it again on Saturday. So beach plans, vacation plans, or just living there plans, you'll be dodging and ducking for cover here from time to time.
When allergies throw a sucker punch, the power of Claritin D punches back harder. Get fast, powerful relief of your worst symptoms, like nasal congestion. Claritin clears.
Dove Clinical Plus Care is for the girls that blow dry sweat, hot flash sweat, first toast sweat. We've got you with serum-infused, skin-softening, unbeatable sweat protection. Dove Clinical Plus Care is care that gets sweat.
Is your shower trying to tell you something? Is getting in and out of the bathtub becoming a safety concern? Are you worried about the cost of a bathroom remodel that could go on for weeks and weeks? Well, now you can have a gorgeous new bathroom shower with a one-day jacuzzi bath remodel that's safer at a price you can afford.
It's incredible that they were able to do this in one day. Oh my gosh. It is beautiful. Oh, you have to see it. It was amazing how they fixed that bathroom in a day. You know what I like also? It's easy to clean.
Jacuzzi has been making water feel great for more than 70 years, so you know it's a brand you can trust, and their products come with a lifetime warranty for a style you'll love for years to come.
I've had a great experience from start to finish. I wish I would have done this 5 years ago.
There has never been a better time to buy. We're waiving all installation costs and postponing all payments for up to 1 year. There are so many designs to choose from, including my Christina Preferred collection. Plus, we offer free, personalized, in-home design services to build the bath you've always wanted, right in your own space. And let's talk about accessories. From soft close shower doors and adjustable shower heads to features like grab bars and custom seats that combine safety and style. comfortable and independent for years to come. Plus, cleanup's a breeze with no grimy grout and no scrubbing. It just rinses clean. It's never been easier. Get your free design consultation, schedule your one-day installation, and start loving your new bathroom shower right away.
Call now and get zero installation costs, zero money down, zero payments with no interest for up to a year. Go to jacuzzibathremodel.com or 800-384-9832. That's 800-384-9832. Call now.
Today we're unboxing Charmin Ultra Soft Smooth Tear. Wow! These wavy edges tear so much better than ordinary squares. And it's way softer. Charmin Ultra Soft Smooth Tear, definitely recommend. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
Huggies Little Movers with HugFit 360. Big moves, even bigger protection.
The Weather Channel TV app keeps you prepared for any type of weather. Our goal is to keep people safe. No one keeps you prepared like the Weather Channel TV app.
Nice Oakley, Stipe. Where'd you get them?
GoVex.com. Man, I gotta get me one of those. Where'd you get it? GoVex.com.
Hey, Stipe, nice boots. Where'd you get those?
GoVex.com. Exclusive deals for first responders, military, and law enforcement only at GoVex.com.
Showing this to the shoulder.
Could you please submit your expenses today?
You could keep reminding your coworkers to submit their expenses. Or you could let Ramp do it. Never chase a receipt again. Ramp, Law Finance. You could spend all day sorting your employees' expenses. Or you could let Ramp do it.
I like that.
Never chase a receipt again. Ramp, Law Finance. Late night just got funnier. Comics Unleashed with Byron Allen.
Sat me right across from White Jesus.
Unfiltered, unscripted, and going wherever the laughs take them. Then, Funny You Should Ask.
Six champions of comedy. How do you make a dirty martini? 3 more martinis.
With the funniest people on TV compete to crack you up. 2 hours, all funny. Zero filler. Weeknights on CBS at 11:35 p.m.
We take you to Council Bluffs, Iowa. We've seen rain across the state of Iowa into Nebraska this evening. Nothing severe, just kind of a gloomy afternoon for some. Some pockets of heavier downpours in there. Other areas like Sioux Falls, South Dakota, Point South, getting in on just some light rain to end your day. Late day commute, windshield wipers are working in a few spots. Des Moines, you're starting to see the rain head closer your way. We've got some areas, again, of at least moderate rain moving through. Same story for areas to the east and to the south of Omaha, Nebraska. Tonight, back into Kansas, some scattered light rain there as well. Here's a closer look. Again, areas along I-80 have been in it with the rain, and we're going to be watching that stretch of interstate to west of Des Moines, seeing that rain head closer and closer to the city. Eventually, eventually crossing over I-35 to Creston, you've begun to see some of that light rain falling in the area. Not a ton of available energy today, so while we don't expect much in the way of severe weather, can't rule out a severe storm, but I think these are going to be more garden variety thunderstorms, if anything, and just some moderate downpours across the area. So I think this will be a more manageable day. Tomorrow we bump up the risk a little bit when it comes to severe weather. I think gusty, damaging winds will be something we got to watch for out of our storms. So we continue to watch areas along eastern parts of Iowa, western Illinois through the late evening. Now, overnight, get a little bit more activity firing into sections of Nebraska, sections of Iowa. So some of the similar areas that are getting the showers and rumbles of thunder now, we'll get more into the overnight hours. So don't think this is it, although I do like to hope that most folks are sleeping, not out on the roads while this is moving through. Same can be said at 7 a.m. 7 a.m. we've got showers, some heavier downpours, thunderstorms around Milwaukee, but especially here along the Iowa-Illinois state line. Northern parts of Missouri could be a real messy morning commute for you guys. So we'll watch I-35, we'll watch I-80. Some of those interstates could be slow, and of course your local roadways will be slow as well. Through tomorrow morning, flash flooding is a possibility, looking at parts of eastern Nebraska, a good chunk of Iowa, right along the Missouri state line. These would be areas with a little better risk of seeing flash flooding. So where I think we'll see some more flash flood warnings, outside of that, at least an isolated risk, that would include places like Sheboygan and Milwaukee, all the way up along the lake shore. Severe thunderstorms tomorrow, I mentioned. It's just a slight uptick in chances. We're not looking at a severe outbreak day, but I do think we'll see the chance of a few hit or miss severe storms across sections of Missouri and Illinois especially. And the cold front, it continues to move south. We, of course, still have the moisture. We've got those things today, but what we'll also be watching for tomorrow is the stronger winds aloft. That upper jet stream is going to help to add lift, so promoting a little bit more in the way of development and stronger thunderstorms also enhances your downpour. So in addition to an isolated severe risk, we will be watching for the risk of some flash flooding. Here is lunchtime on Wednesday. Things already going, and we'll continue to see that activity sliding east through the afternoon and evening. Bye.
You know, folks in Illinois going, here we go again. It seems like it's been like this all summer, all spring, all summer, honestly. Really historic season for us across the state, leading the nation in tornado reports. The most tornadoes we've ever recorded in the state of Illinois by far. And we go back, you know, we had tornadoes in March and in April. May wasn't a huge month for us, but June, then July saw the tornadoes come on, ripping back once again. But if you look at the year so far, we'll go month by month here. January saw 0, okay? And then February, March, April, huge jump, right? 70 tornadoes in the month of April. Now, May typically is when we think of the peak of tornado season across the country. Literally one. Like May and January were almost identical. But then all of a sudden, off to the races once again in June. What a month, 92 tornadoes across Illinois, only to drop off again in July. But you add it all together, it's a total of 225 tornadoes in Illinois so far this year. So Illinois, Indiana, Missouri, those areas that have been clobbered so far this year. Even Iowa, 72 tornadoes, and of course, as Alex showed us, the storms are targeting similar spots. Now, not necessarily tornado threat, a big one at least. Maybe we can see a tornado touchdown or two, but not a huge threat, but still, we're a target again. If you look at the tornadoes across the country, though, by month, get a big uptick in March and April, and May, just an oddball month. Typically the peak, and it was way below, about half as many tornadoes as we typically see. June, one of the biggest Junes we've ever seen. Nearly 400 tornadoes in the month of June, and then about a third of that in the month of July. Look at all those warnings. 690 warnings across the country, a lot of those in the Midwest. And in August, where do we look for very significant weather and tornadoes? Upper Midwest and down along the Gulf Coast. So areas that we'll be watching here through the next, say, 30 days or so.
At Olive Garden, we're all about more craveable classics and more made-from-scratch sauces, which begs the question, what could possibly be next?
How about delivery?
Olive Garden now delivers, and for a limited time, delivery is free, only at olivegarden.com.
Let's fix this.
Talking home repairs? An American Home Shield warranty can help protect appliances like your fridge, no matter how old. This isn't about appliances. It just covers home systems, too. And if your covered item can
read this summer? May I suggest your big wireless bill, where you realize you've been overpaying the entire time. Fortunately, though, mid-story is better. Every plan, $15 a month. Even unlimited. That's it. Happy ending, 0 tears. Spoiler, it's only 1 page.
Trying to predict the future is a hazardous occupation. The only thing we can be sure of is that it will be absolutely fantastic. I'm thinking of the incredible breakthrough, the communications satellite. These things will make possible a world in which we can be in instant contact with each other, wherever we may be. When that time comes, the whole world will have shrunk to a point.
We don't feel our liver working day in and day out, but it's working for us every moment. At the center of over 500 daily functions, quietly doing its job so we can show up for ourselves. For them. Dose for your liver makes supporting that engine easy with just 1 daily shot. A clinically backed formula that supports healthy liver function and liver enzyme levels. So the system working in the background can keep carrying you forward. Support the system that supports you.
Stop debating between razor burn and burning through another razor. Start shaving with Gillette. With 3 times more protective coatings, no refillable blade lasts longer. So even your 30th shave is still smooth and comfortable.
Kia. Movement that inspires.
Same day delivery. For free. For real. Members get more at Lowe's.
You've spent a lifetime opening doors. Now, one opens for you. Once Weekly Zepbound helps adults with obesity lose weight and keep it off. And now, it's open to you through Medicare GLP-1 Bridge for no more than $50 a month. People taking Zepbound have lost up to 48 pounds.
Don't share needles or pens or reuse needles. Don't take it allergic to it, or if you or someone in your family had MTC or MEN2. Tell your doctor if you get a lump or swelling in your neck. Stop Zepbound and call your doctor if you have severe stomach pain or a serious allergic reaction. Severe side effects may include inflamed pancreas or gallbladder problems. Tell your doctor if you experience vision changes before scheduled procedures with anesthesia. If you're nursing, pregnant, plan to be, or taking birth control pills. Taking Zepbound with a sulfonylurea or insulin may cause low blood sugar. Side effects include nausea, diarrhea, and vomiting, which can cause dehydration and worsen kidney problems.
Ask your doctor about Zepbound.
Well, we take you to Seattle, Washington, just another one of those western cities that has a hazy view courtesy of the fires and the smoke coming from these fires. Now, Seattle is sitting close to 80 degrees. Of course, visibility issues can be really bad as you get closer to these fires. Our meteorologist, Jordan Steele, he said that was an issue during his flight into Spokane. So, Jordan, of course, obviously our main attention are the impacts to the people who live there, the people who have lost everything and felt the greatest impacts. But these fires are having repercussions in other ways for other communities.
All right, and I mean, think about this too. It's not just the fires that are, billowing up in the Northwest. So Oregon, Washington, yeah, we've got active wildfires right now. But let's not forget all the wildfires that have been basically encompassing much of Canada all of this summer. And sometimes all that flows down even into the Northeast, sometimes into the South. And of course, with the West now very active, we're going to be in it probably for the rest of summer. I mean, just the long range outlook has this much rain for Washington and Spokane specifically through much of August. So we're going to stay dry, and that means skies are likely going to stay filled with smoke. Another look at the hardest hit neighborhood here on Rifle Club Drive, where to me it reminds me of the tornado that moved through London, Kentucky. Completely different natural disaster, but overall impacts where homes are completely taken off their foundation, and this burnt to a crisp. And, we just have, a few breaks and maybe remnants of a vehicle left. We were able to get into an area that had a apartment complex that caught fire, and I ran into a lady that was actually sifting around in some of the soot, and I asked her, like, well, what are you looking for? And actually, she showed me what she found. Check this out. When you went through this rubble and are looking for a needle in a haystack, and you find that first one.
I know. I was like, oh my god. Oh my god.
I'm like, oh my god.
And they still have, yeah, they still have the diamonds. All the diamonds are still in there.
To the ground, and you
And
still
they
have
stay.
a fully intact.
Mhm.
I couldn't even believe it. Obviously, folks that are going to be back at their, what was once their home, trying to find what they can. I just talked to another family walking down the road, and they had a piece of china that I think her mom gave her. And it's the little things that they can try to keep, because everything else is destroyed. And then you go across the street, and in this neighborhood, this was one of the ones where the fire took out the entire reach, basically. But you've got stairs, but no home, no front door. Garage platform, but no structure above it. A backyard, but nothing there. Maybe just a retaining wall left. And so unfortunately, we have not let the majority of the public back in, or at least first responders haven't, Mike and Alex. And as that happens, I have a feeling we're going to be experiencing a lot more tears and just a sense of loss as we're at, just day 4 now. But we have to remember, evacuation orders are still in place, and we still have a growing fire, the Autumn Lane fire, which is just north and west of town.
Yeah, you can't help but feel that immense sense of loss for all of these families and finding anything they can salvage. Jordan, thank you so much. Really appreciate the update for us this evening. Those images are just jarring, aren't they? We'll have more from Jordan coming up here in just a minute, but let's get you caught up on other stories that we're following for you tonight here on Weather Unfiltered, including some significant rain. So dry in the west, really soaked in the mid-Atlantic through North Carolina and Virginia in particular. This is where some significant rain and flooding is ongoing right now, including from Danville over toward Richmond and Norfolk tonight. We've got numerous flash flood warnings. That includes portions of I-85 and along I-95 as well. If you get right into Richmond, right here into the capital, between Petersburg and Richmond, it is just a deluge for us this afternoon and evening. Flash flood warning continues until 7 o'clock. That goes right between Petersburg and Chester. Notice the heavy rain that is progged here by the radar. The yellow areas, 3 to 5 inches of rain. The orange areas, more than 5 inches of rain in just a short amount of time, just 6 hours. That's it. In Hopewell, social media photos here of water surrounding cars and homes, and numerous buses delaying their release for the students because of the flooding that's ongoing there. So just awful conditions for us here. That's really having huge impacts on families and communities here in Virginia. Look at all the heavier storms we've got here in the upstate of South Carolina and western North Carolina, where it feels like we've been plagued by storms for weeks now. Heavy storm just leaving us in Charlotte. Storms either side of Asheville tonight. Storms just to the west of Greenville this evening. So those storms will be here for the next couple of hours. Late tonight, those storms should begin to die down quite a bit. However, they will fire back again tomorrow. And then waiting for this front to come through, it won't clear us until beyond the weekend. So we may see a very stormy pattern now through at least Saturday, if not longer. And you can see how many places have green on the map here. Tomorrow, though, showers in the morning more prevalent in significant storms by the afternoon and evening. And we'll do this dance for several more days. In fact, probably every single day this week.
I'm glad we could all play today.
They say tennis is great for remembering you can customize and save hundreds on car insurance with Liberty Mutual.
See you, Big Dog?
Well, I say it.
So it needs to be sold.
Ball. Leaving ball me again? My bad!
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
They say I'm cold-blooded. I say I'm calculated.
Because all my locations are perfectly staffed. Rule your business with Rippling AI.
We love being outside, but the sun makes our deck and patio too hot to enjoy.
Thanks to our new Sunsetter retractable awning, we can select full sun or instant shade.
It's 20 degrees cooler, and you get protection from harmful rays and sun glare.
When you call, we'll rush you a special $350 discount certificate with your free awning idea kit. You'll get your manual Sunsetter for less than $1,200. Add LED lighting for evening enjoyment. Life is better under a Sunsetter.
My earwax buildup was frustrating. Then I tried new Lipo Earwax Cleanser. The revolutionary formula dissolves earwax 5 times faster than the leading brand and helps prevent future buildup. Feel the difference with new Lipo Earwax Cleanser.
Don't sweat the technique.
When kids start making money, Chase has expert bankers and smart tools to help them manage it.
Wow, now that's a first deposit. Let's get you a capital bank.
Chase, make more of what's yours.
Dr. E, your new phone company, Menace Mobile, will make it impossible to bundle cellular with home internet.
Convenience will be like liquid hot magma. This isn't evil. All the phone companies make it inconvenient. That's why we're switching to Verizon.
With our new Simplicity plan, Verizon makes it easy to add home internet.
So you're all choosing Verizon, huh?
Traitors! Bundle your phone and home internet from Verizon for just $70 a month.
Can you hear me now?
Same-day delivery for free. For real. Members get more at Lowe's.
Moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms can keep you out of the picture. Now, there's Skyrizi. Get back in the picture. Feel significant symptom relief as early as 4 weeks. Skyrizi is proven to help physically repair damage to the intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year, and help people achieve lasting remission.
Don't use if allergic. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight that may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and TB. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or UC.
Skyrizi is proven to help deliver relief, repair, and remission. Ready to get back in the picture? Ask your doctor about the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's plus UC.
Good question. Hey everybody, I'm meteorologist Jordan Seal coming to you live from Spokane, Washington. We're talking about the Spokane Complex fire, still bringing a complex of terrible situations all across eastern Washington. This fire is focal point to get this thing under control. You can see the damage behind me. Unfortunately, several different communities were impacted by a number of fires, really 3 large wildfires across Spokane that we are now calling the Spokane Complex Fire. We have Benjamin Consul here. He is with California Team 7. California's come up to help Washington obviously fight these. Trying to get an update here because obviously when you have 3 separate fires, things can get a little confusing. We conglomerate them into one, but we still have an active situation.
Yeah, correct. So we still have 3 active wildfires. The really good news on that front, though, is 2 of those 3 fires, we haven't seen any significant growth over the last couple of days. So we're standing here on the old Trails fire footprint, and what you see is crews out here trying to get things ready for people to come back in. Because this fire has gotten to a point where we can let crews back in. There's not as much of an active firefight here. Now, that said, we're not out of the woods with those fires because there's still a lot of heat here, there's still a lot of smoldering, so crews are working around the perimeters of these fires, ensuring that the hand lines and the containment lines that they built are strong enough and they're reinforcing them.
Okay.
Where we still have an active firefight is on that Autumn Lane fire. That's that one that's sort of northwest of Spokane proper. We've seen a lot of growth in the eastern and the southeastern flank of that fire. It's kind of wrapped itself back around, and if you're looking at it on the map, it looks like it's almost trying to join up with the old Trails fire. So, the bulk of our efforts today have been on getting that fire, building those containment lines around those edges of it, and keeping that fire in its current footprint.
And then, of course, just looking at the overall forecast, I feel like you've had some help yesterday and today with the lack of winds. But ahead, we could have winds kick up 15, 20 miles an hour towards the end of the week. So what kind of a danger does that pose to you and your team?
So it's a significant danger. That leads to that sort of increased fire behavior, fire activity that we're always worried about it. And it's even a little bit worse than that, Jordan. On the front end of that, starting tomorrow, we go back up to probably kind of high heats. We're looking at temperatures in the mid-90s. with those relative humidities down in those single teens. So we're looking at like 11% relative humidity, 15% relative humidity, really drying out an already dry situation and heating them up ahead of those winds. So like we keep saying, we're not out of the woods yet. We've got at least another week solid of like weather not in our favor to really test the fires, the containment lines we've built, and getting that autumn lane fire under control.
I know it's hard to look ahead. Last question I have for you, but it just seems like with the lack of rain that we have in this area over the next 14 days, it seems like after this, are you guys worried about the next potential fires that affect? I know a new one's popping in California.
Yes, we are in the middle of fire season. In fact, we don't even call them fire seasons anymore. We call them fire years. Washington has seen extreme drought over the last couple of years. So yeah, we're actively very concerned about what's going on in the Pacific Northwest, what's going on in Oregon, and even what's starting to go on back in my home state of California.
Yeah. All right, well, we appreciate you everything you're doing, and just so everybody at home knows, Benjamin's going to stay with us, and coming up in the next hour, we actually got a chance to go to the front lines of that autumn lane fire and give us some perspective of what the firefighters are doing to help mitigate that fire. As I send it back to you guys, because it was really interesting to see, Alex, how they tackle that, just from a firefighting standpoint. I've never seen that, so we'll have that coming up in just a bit.
All right, Jordan, thank you so much. Thank him for his expertise and time as well. Spokane, the before and after images every time we have a fire are stunning and heartbreaking, and this one no exception. Here you're looking at the before image. You can see a really tightly packed neighborhood, and we've talked about how these neighborhoods where homes are very close together can be even more dangerous when it comes to fires, because you get the embers, moving from one home that's on fire onto the roof of another, and that one goes up. So the before and the after here image showing that some of these homes still smoldering, still actively on fire, the plumes of smoke, of course, obscuring some of those neighborhood streets. A closer look here, you can see the cul-de-sac where I assume the children of these families played, some of the cars parked on the street, another cul-de-sac, all the trees in the area as well. When we look at the after image, again, some homes completely burned, some still on fire. Our weather producer Dalton and I were looking at this. He thinks this is, and makes sense, fire retardant. So here you can see some of the homes okay, where that stretch of color looks like we were right on the fire line, and they dropped some of that to stop the fire from spreading into the other homes. Here again, a look at the before and after, a bustling, a vibrant community on one day, and then the next day, of course, dealing with missing homes. Here the footprint of all of those homes and just the charred outlines, really, of those homes. Yet again, a stretch, it looks like, where fire retardant was dropped. And so these homes, okay, obviously the homes on the other side, but in terms of, or in cases when you get these really, really tightly packed neighborhoods, they're relying on the air support to really create those fire lines, those fire breaks, because everything's so close together, they're just spreading so quickly. Another before and after, here again, looking at some of the homes on this street, and the after image showing some of the smoke, and again, fires actively burning in these homes. So a lot of families, unfortunately, waking up with very little, if not anything, today.
SandCloud chose the Capital One Spark Cash Plus card. Their business earns unlimited 2% cash back on everything they buy. They get big purchasing power so their business can spend more and earn more. What's in your mind?
These are the faces men make before they shape their bodies with a face razor.
So it needs to be sold.
Introducing the new Red Labs Body Razor with a triple protection system with